Can't really tell its power is going to my unit unless you are looking closely.
It's -6 degrees outside. It's nice in here. I'm about to take this off. Like, it's literally, you could live in here. So
know how to survive, and we're gonna stay out here until we save up enough money to where we pay off all our debt.
Tonight I had to go down to my storage facility after hours to remove somebody from the property.
What if I told you that some Americans are living in storage units because they cannot afford the rent? As much the housing cost of Christ keep on soaring, many people will be left behind. That's why they don't have no choices. They will obligate to look where is more cheaper, like storage units or camping ground or RV tent or so many area. This is becoming very, very a symbol of America now because of the housing cost of Christ is gone too far. You guys let me know down below the comment. Let's check out this video.
Listen. I'm gonna miss this shed. This is probably the cheapest rent I'm ever gonna have to pay in California. Thank you for the memories.
We were living in a storage unit and got kicked out because it got so popular. Everyone was talking about it. It was even on the news. We lived in a U-Haul after we got kicked out of the storage unit. We used that same U-Haul to set up our new homeless spot next to the shopping mall. There were no private property signs, but someone owned this land and kicked us off. So then we moved into a hotel, and then we got evicted from that, and we're homeless again. This is our second time being homeless. We know how to survive, and we're gonna stay out here until we save up enough money to where we pay off all our debt and get a tiny home. We gotta raise our credit really high. So it's not just about money. It takes
I ain't gonna lie. Get in a storage unit and only giving a motherfucker 125 a month and you live there? Open it up.
I just had an idea. If you buy a storage unit, right, and you're like homeless or you don't have a place to stay, could you theoretically stay in the storage unit? Because I just walked in. It's -6 degrees outside. It's nice in here. I'm about to take this off. Like, it's literally, you could live in here. So I'm thinking, like, if you found a way to put electricity in your unit, could you put a bed in that shit and live in it?
So if you're going to live in a storage unit, you're going to need to be as invisible as you possibly can be. You basically need to be a ghost. If anybody finds out you're here, that's when you start running into trouble. So first of all, I needed power for my unit. So what I did is I ran an extension cord along the power cable up here, and I sort of zip tied it up. So you can't really tell its power is going to my unit unless you are looking closely. So this is my unit here, and at the top of the unit you can see I have an antenna, and that's so I can get a cell signal inside the unit itself, because once you close the door it drops all signal. I have a lock which I've magnetized onto the door so it looks like it's locked even when it's not. And then when I actually do want to lock it, I can just use this lock or use another one down here and leave that one there. All right, so let's take a look at the unit now. So in here I've got my TV, entertainment center set up there. I've got my bed. I've got my kitchen area over there, complete with a fridge, and my couch over here. Once you're inside here, you can close the door, and I've screwed on a latch here so that way you can close it and sort of lock it from the inside. I've also put a mirror up so you can see what you're doing. Up here I've got a toaster oven, and this toaster oven actually works pretty well. I'd say it works just as well as a conventional oven. I've got some dishes over here. Got some more pots and pans over here, and my fridge is right here. Underneath, I've got a filing cabinet, some tools, and some storage for some other stuff I have. Up on this part of the kitchen, I have cutting board, so I can make some lunch or dinner there. I have a hot plate for boiling water, cereal. Up here is the Tupperware, and then over here I've got a food cupboard with all my food. And this is the sink I've built. And the sink is basically like a 25-liter container I've filled with water. And I've attached these tubes here. So you just open it up, and then the water comes down this tube and out there. So you've got running water. You can do dishes, get a drink, whatever. And then the water filters into this bucket, which goes down into these holes here, which goes into a funnel, which leads into a separate container here. And I usually find I have to empty that container and refill that one, usually once a week, maybe twice. So over here above the bed, I've built a bar, and this is just to hold all my liquor and drinks and everything. But I've also got stuff at the back there behind the bed. So what I've done is I've built this little hinge here. This comes out, and then the hinge drops down, and then that can hold in place while you go and get whatever you need to from back there. Over here, I've built a clothing rack, and this works just like it would in any closet. Put your clothes there, except I've included this little latch here on this string, so you can push the clothing further to the wall, giving you more space. Up here, I've built some shelving for some items that I'm storing in here that I don't really use too much. I got my snowboard hanging from the ceiling there. And as you can see, all the stuff I've built in here is all built basically hanging from the ceiling. And the way I did that is I just got 2x4s, really long 2x4s, and put them all the way across the unit. And then I used L brackets to build shelving down from that.
Man, there's a whole nother world that exists called the storage unit world, and I had no idea about this till my dad decides to move out of his storage units. And I'm looking at the bill and I'm like, $313 a unit, $400. I'm looking at 3 of his units and I'm like, you're paying well over $12,000 a year on storing stuff that you never use. And it's crazy. There are some business owners that will have some pretty high-tech gear that they put in storage units and then they come and pick it up on a weekly basis. So it makes sense as a business expense. But for most people, they're buying a bunch of shit they never need and will never use, and they completely forget about it. And they put it into this big black box and they're paying $400 to $700 a month to let it sit there. And what was really crazy was I was in the coffee shop this morning talking to some people who were talking about the storage unit business and how good of a business model it is for the people who own it, but how bad it is because it really just pushes on American consumerism. And if you think about it, most people are afraid to grieve the process of letting go of things. So they just put it into a black box and forget about it. And what I've been seeing with my own family and other people is they are forced to confront their lack of being able to grieve. So they go into the unit and they get all emotional because they have to get rid of things and they have to go through the process. It's really interesting.
What do you mean I feel crack in this shit? You mean I feel knack? Like I feel knack? So let me show you guys, okay? I did try for here a little quick, right here. That is how we are sleeping right now. And check, how do I feed? I have the rice cooker here. I cook rice. I cook rice. I cook rice. I cook rice on Sunday, bro. So there is light in there. No, there is no light, bro. Good question. It's only this bulb. This bulb, where did the room inside? I don't know how to turn it on, bro. Yesterday, I slept in the dark. The day before yesterday, I slept in the dark. I can't go ask the front desk for them to show me how to turn it on because if they come, they are going to see all this. So I'm just trapping like this because I don't want to go through the stress in scattering the whole place and do it like it's a storage just to go and call them for them to bring light and da 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 da. You know, all those stress just for them to bring light. So this is the light I used last night. This thing. This is the one we used at the how do we call it? Oh my god. The tent, the Alaska stream. This is the light we use. You guys remember? It has an alarm clock, time, everything. So yeah, this is the light I used last night. So yeah, Charlie, it be W place, che. It is a W place. I won't lie. I'm trapping here for like a week or two, a month. We have the space for a month, but we'll be trapping here for a few. So how do you shower in case you want to pee? Great idea. Good question. Konko, bro. Konko. And hey, I wanted to show you guys. Yes, last night like this. Last night, as Mod came this morning, we had 2 pee bottles here. Mod said, "Make I no show I'm on stream." So I trash it before you guys. I trash it. But I have a picture and a VOD. I will upload it in the Discord. I want to keep the Discord active, bro. I want to be updating all the Discord boys. So that one we go do one. I go drop one for the Discord, okay?
If you're new here, hi, I'm Carly, I'm 25, and currently I'm living out of a storage unit with no home base and running my 5-year business out of the storage unit. So come along with me in the day of a life of living out of a storage unit. 95% of my business is all on TikTok. So one thing about this whole situation is at the storage unit, there is no Wi-Fi and no service whatsoever, like not even one bar. So it's always a challenge because I literally have to go and print all of the orders before we walk in and hope that everything is there, because once we're in there, there's no looking it up on Shopify. So another thing is that I am a boutique owner that goes live on TikTok, and so we've been using Lily's grandparents' place to go live out of. So obviously our schedule is a little different because we have to just go whenever they are allowing us to use the space. I will tell you, as soon as I get my own place again, I am going to be so grateful, because I did not realize how much of a big thing this is to have to like haul things back and forth every single day. It is exhausting, but you all know this is like my job is my love of my life. So I don't care for the extra struggles or hardships because I'll make it work no matter. Also, can we just say thank God for Lily? I'm going to say this in every video, but she is an angel, and she is the only way I'm getting through all this the next little bit. Yesterday, I finally turned Lily loose after we left the storage unit. She took some orders home with her to pack from like open orders we had before I left for the RCB girls trip. So she quite literally did all of your all's orders yesterday. So thank God for Lily. And she let me go and spend my evening at my favorite thing. Y'all are about to see it in just a minute. I'm such a weirdo, I know, but I have grown up watching WWE, and yeah, so they were in Jacksonville last night, and I had a freaking blast. And part 2's coming because they're going to be in Tampa today, but I had so much fun, and yeah, see y'all later.
Sometimes tenants try to live in their storage unit. Tonight, I had to go down to my storage facility after hours to remove somebody from the property because they were trying to stay in their unit again. This isn't the first time that I've had to go down after hours to talk with them. At this point, I've already knocked on their door and told them they need to go. I'm waiting for them to come out of their unit so that way I can escort them off the property. Because I've already spoken to them about staying in their unit before, they will be getting a call from me tomorrow and also a written notice saying that their lease is terminated in 14 days. Even though they were staying in their unit and I could immediately terminate their lease, I try to be kind and work with people, especially since they've always paid their rent and they're nice tenants. They just aren't following this rule. These tenants also happen to be homeless, so I will try to also help connect them with community services that can help them with shelter and food.